Well, if you're familiar with ProPure, you know it's already the best gravity feed filter in the market, but it just got better. And here to tell us about today is Steve Steinway, the founder and owner of ProPure. Steve, welcome.
Thank you very much, David. Nice to be here.
We want to hear all about this change in the filters, but first tell us a little bit about how you got started in this. I always love to hear entrepreneur stories.
Sure. I've been in the preparedness business for several years, selling different types of preparedness products, including water filter systems. And over the years, with supply chain problems and an opportunity to see if we could put together a better gravity water filter system, that's what motivated me to develop the ProPure system.
You certainly did that. And what I think is interesting is that you did it in the midst of a really bad economy. I mean, you're in Detroit, one of the worst places there. Maybe because of that, you saw the problems and realized that, you know, there's going to be a market out there for preparedness as the infrastructure collapses.
Definitely. And, you know, again, economy in Detroit was bad, saw opportunity, and that's what motivated me to set out to develop ProPure.
Right. And even if we don't have an economic collapse, we've got a situation where our complex infrastructure is already putting some pretty nasty stuff in our water. And that's what it's about. It's about staying clean and healthy, even if we don't have some kind of an emergency disaster that we've got to worry about.
Absolutely. And the thing about the ProPure system is you can use it for daily use, whether it's with tap water. You can save it for an emergency or preparedness. You can use it with just about any water source, including lake, stream, river, or pond water.
Oh, that's great. Well, tell us how this has changed now. What I was interested in seeing, too, is that even though you've got a major upgrade in the filters, it's still compatible if somebody's got the ProPure filter. You made that compatible. Tell us what you did to change it.
Well, the original, our flagship filter, our Pro Black D Dome filter, along with our Pro Black Plus Fluoride filter, again, was our original filter system that we developed with ProPure. And it's a two-stage, two-filter system, meaning the Pro Black D Dome filter mounts in the upper container, and then the fluoride filter screws on to the bottom and hangs down into the lower container. And it's a great system, but talking to people, I spend a lot of time on the front line talking to customers. We sensed perhaps an opportunity for us to set out to see if we could develop a filter that was, one, easier to use, and had greater performance than our original flagship filter system.
Now tell us about that performance. What changed on it? Because I know it filters some things that your previous filters didn't catch, and other filters on the market don't catch.
The important thing about the Pro 1 filter today is that the material we use for removing fluoride and other heavy metals now will remove the latest form of fluoride called hydrofluorosilicic acid. There's no other fluoride reduction filter out there that will remove that type of fluoride. And it's extremely important because today we're hearing more and more cities are using that form of fluoride rather than the traditional form.
Yeah, it's sad that we have to pay to have that stuff put in. And people get upset about Obamacare coming along and forcing medication on us or health care on us, but we've been having medication forced on us through the water system for quite a while. Most people don't realize it. Most people don't realize the negative effects of fluoride. Although scientific studies are now coming out, and a lot of people are changing. A lot of countries in Europe, New Zealand, are changing. They understand how harmful it is, but the word just hasn't gotten out in the U.S. for a lot of people.
And it's just all about educating the consumer, you know, the importance of removing fluoride from water.
So what are some of the effects of fluoride?
There are many adverse effects of fluoride that the media tends to keep quiet.
Well, the media keeps it quiet, but we've got someone who wrote an entire book on this. This is Dr. Paul Connett, wrote an entire book on the problems of fluoride. We carry this at InfoWarsStore.com, and he's actually been in studio. Let's take a look at that interview with Dr. Paul Connett.
I think the most important thing to recognize about fluoride is that it's extremely toxic. It is very active biologically, interfering with many basic biochemical processes, enzymes, G proteins, hydrogen bonds, and so on. So it shouldn't surprise us that there's a wide range of health effects that are attributed to fluoride. Dental fluorosis. Fluoride causes discoloration, mottling of the tooth enamel. The next concern is as the fluoride continues to build up in the bone, and I should say that up to 50% of all the fluoride that we take in each day accumulates in the bone. The fluoride is bioaccumulative. The bones get more brittle. There have now been over 100 animal studies which shows that fluoride damages the brain. There have also been 23 IQ studies, most of them from China, but one from India, one from Iran, and one from Mexico, which show an association between moderate exposure to fluoride and lowered IQ in children. And once again, as in many of these other issues, the fluoridating countries, including the United States, are simply not doing the studies. They're not investigating to see if there's a relationship between fluoridation and lowered IQ, fluoridation and arthritis, fluoridation and hypothyroidism. Another issue that came out in 1997 was a researcher in England found that fluoride accumulated in the human pineal gland, and the pineal gland is a little gland between the two parts of the brain, the two hemispheres of the brain. It's not protected by the blood-brain barrier. It has a high perfusion rate of blood, and it also is a calcifying tissue like the teeth and the bones. The average level of fluoride on these little calcium hydroxyapatite crystals was 9,000 parts per million, up to 21,000 parts per million, which means that this little gland has a higher concentration of fluoride than any other tissue in the body, including the bone.
Well, that's not something I would want in my water, and it bothers me that I'm forced by the government to pay for that, but they can't force me to drink it, not if I take control of my own health, and that's what you can do if you get a ProPure filter that filters that out. Now, tell us a little bit about your design goals here. This is something that was pretty difficult for you to get manufactured, right? You're kind of pushing the state of the art.
Well, this is our flagship filter, our Pro Black D dome filter with our Pro Black Plus fluoride filter. And with fluoride filters, there are basically two technologies, one that's alumina-based and one that is activated carbon-based. Our filter uses the activated carbon-based technology, mainly because there's nothing that leaches out into the water. There's no alumina or aluminum, which can be harmful. And out of this design and listening to our customers, people were looking for a filter technology that didn't require something hanging down into the lower container. They still had the perception that there was something harmful in our fluoride filters, which there is not. However, we developed the Pro 1 filter, which combines both our primary filter and our fluoride filter in an all-in-one filter element. It's very easy to use, very easy to install. There's nothing that hangs down into the lower container. This mounts in the upper container of the ProPure systems.
And you actually improve the filtration of this with the new filter.
Yes, with the new Pro 1 filter, not only does it do everything that the Pro Black D and our Pro Black Plus fluoride filters, but in addition, it also removes the latest form of fluoride called hydrofluorosilicic acid.
And to be clear, when people have to replace their older filters, they'll still be able to use this new filter in the ProPure system, and it will cost a little bit less.
Absolutely. The Pro 1 filters are available in 3 different sizes, and we have them designed to fit all of the ProPure systems, whether you have a previous purchase system or you're purchasing a new system today.
So when you're creating these new filters, it's not just a manufacturing issue. You've also got to do some testing and qualification. What kind of certification qualification does it have?
There's a lot of testing that goes into making water filter elements. And the engineering team that we used when we developed our flagship, the Pro Black D and our Pro Black Plus fluorides, are the same team of engineers that have worked with me to develop the Pro 1 filter system. Combining a ceramic filter that's silver impregnated with a new type of activated carbon was extremely challenging. We searched around the world trying to find a supplier that could meet our specifications and build the filter to our design. And we're fortunate enough to find a company in England that was capable of building the product to our specifications, and we have since partnered with them. So the Pro One filter is made in England.
That's great. Now you've also got another innovation that's coming up too, and that's your laser etching. That's kind of cool.
We're working on a decorative design that would be laser etched around the surface of the stainless steel containers, would be the upper, the lower, and possibly laser etched design on the lid. Again, it's decorative. We're looking at maybe 3 or 4 different patterns and just a nice upscale look.
That's
on
great.
Your ProPure system.
That's great. Well, that's what makes your systems great. You never are satisfied to just stay in one place. You're making, it's like Steve Jobs always said, either you're going to make your own product obsolete or you're going to have somebody else make it obsolete for you. So you just keep innovating just like the best of them out there. That's what I love
and
to
again,
see.
like I said before, that's what ProPure is all about. We're not going to just sit still with one technology, not sit still with just one look. We're always looking to improve and enhance the performance and the look of our systems.
That's great. That's great. Well, we're real excited about these new changes that came out for this year. And these things are brand new. Actually, the laser stuff is just about to roll out.
We're just about ready to launch our laser etch program, and we're very excited to release that. I think people find it to be a nice decorative addition to their countertop.
That's great. So bottom line, why should somebody get this new Pro One ProPure filter?
The reason to buy the Pro One, it's an all-in-one filter. It's convenient, easy to use. It doesn't require the add-on fluoride filter. And in addition, this filter removes the latest form of fluoride called hydrofluorosilicic acid.
Well, you can find all these great new products, the new filters, the laser-etched canisters. You can find all that at InfoWarsShop.com. Please go there, help to support our operation. We're entrepreneurs too, you know. We're in the information business, but we have to support it. And you can help us as well as providing clean, safe water for your family at InfoWarsShop.com.